Okay, I just want to talk to you about something which I think is called DLL hell. Um, and it's something which certainly existed on Windows up to Vista. Um, and I think it's the same sort of problems on Windows 7. I've certainly had similar problems using Windows 7 at work. Um, and I'm talking about it because um, with the Mac, okay, the operating system is now, you know, pretty much comparable with Windows 7. Yes, there are things that the Mac can do that Windows 7 can't, such as the keychain. Um, and, you know, there are probably things that Windows 7 can do that the Mac can't. But um, the by and large, the two operating systems, in terms of functionality, are pretty similar. But the advantages of the Mac are still now pretty much under the hood. Okay. Now, in order to kind of like try and explain this, I want you to imagine this analogy. All right. If you have a garden that is not very well tended, such as mine, okay, then you will have some flowers that grow there, flowers that you want, and you will also have weeds that come and essentially entwine themselves in the flower and essentially kill it. And both the flower and the weed need the usual ingredients to grow, i.e. sunshine and water and that sort of thing. Right? There's only so much sunshine and water. All right. So basically, the weed will essentially strangle the flower and stop it accessing the sunshine and the water. Basically. Okay. If you have, a fairly well weeded garden, then you will have some flowers which you've weeded out the weeds from them, and the flowers are able to grow. You might have other weeds growing sort of separately in your garden. All right, and both of them can then kind of like flourish. All right, Windows uses things called shared DLLs. That's the equivalent of a weed strangling a flower. Okay, when you get a bad app, call it the weed. All right, that essentially hogs your computer resources. Call that the sun and the rain and what have you. Then what happens is that it jiggers up the rest of your computer. All right, and usually it means that you have to restart it and what have you. Okay, and I'll tell you a situation that I had with that a couple of days ago. Okay, at work, I wanted to make a zip file of some files so that I could pop them on Dropbox and get them at home so that I could refer to them there. Okay, and this file that I wanted to zip, it was a folder. Okay, the folder was quite big, a couple of 100 megabytes, the sort of thing that you would want to zip. Okay, and the progress bar got like that much from the end and then froze and did nought. Okay, it should only take a second or two to zip a file like that. Okay, and it was taking absolutely ages, and so what I wanted to do was try and stop it doing that. Okay, and it jolly well wasn't going to stop. Okay, the Explorer thing, the yellow icon next to the start button on the taskbar, just really didn't want to cooperate at all. So I had to do the Control Alt Delete. Okay, then I had to click on the task manager. Then I had a list of unfathomable processes that were going on, and somewhere in amongst that I had the zipping file thing. Okay, so I clicked on that and then chose End Now, and it didn't end now. So I had to choose End Now again. Then I got something about Windows Explorer wanting to repair itself. I let it do that, and then Windows Explorer didn't want to work at all when I tapped the icon again, and then the only thing I could actually do was restart the computer. So I went to restart the computer, log off, failed spectacularly. So then all I was left able to do was to press the on-off button, the power button on the computer itself to turn it off, and then restart it again. And then I had the screen about do you want to restart Windows normally, and all this absolute rubbish. Okay, all right. On a Mac, if an app freezes, then because they are like the flowers and the weeds growing separately, if you've got a weed, you can just do the equivalent of Control Alt Delete, which is Command Alt and Escape, and that will then escape you properly. It will bring up, as I've shown in other videos, it will bring up a nice, easily understandable list of all the applications that are running with a nice icon next to them. You'll choose the one you want, you will force quit it, and it will go instantly, leaving your computer intact, so that you don't have to then force restarts and all this sort of rubbish that you had to with Windows. Okay, the fact that with Windows it was, a central application, i.e. the Windows Explorer and all the bits that enable you to zip files and what have you. The fact that it was that was playing up kind of really, for me, rings alarm bells into the integrity of the system and how and how well it's written. Okay, so with a Mac, you are obviously, as far as I'm concerned, you really are better off, because this thing, which I think is still to do with shared DLLs, is just, in this day and age, we shouldn't have it. Okay, and I think really Windows really needs to rethink its operating system strategy. I heard on the radio the other day that Microsoft themselves have decided that Windows 8 is a pile of rubbish, and therefore are going to scrap it and start again, and that shouldn't be so. Okay, buck your ideas up, Microsoft, because most people use Microsoft, and the fact that you're wasting valuable time, most people haven't got time these days, and the fact that you're wasting valuable time, or wasting our valuable time with this shared DLL business is bad. Stop it. Okay, and in the meantime, people, let's try and get a Mac. Apple, make your Macs a bit cheaper, then more people would get them. Bye.